Hey guys, Tyler is Awesome 2 here, and a while ago, I made this little video on discussing the misinformation from the Ben 10 wiki, and well, I think I did a pretty good job with it, and when I, and then, well, and then I found out about this. Fake Ben 10 facts you believe, which is basically Crow discussing the misinformation and false Ben 10 facts, including that of the wiki, and well, of how it's becoming more incredible and reliable and accurate. And well, this got me thinking. I mean, yeah, it's in celebration of this video was actually in celebration of the wiki's anniversary, sure. But did Kuro actually watch my video? Oh, let's find out, shall we?
According to the wiki, Dr. Animo's middle name, James, was first added to the wiki for his character page on January 31st, 2010 by a user named RalphBlade7.
I think my video was released on that day. I think I gotta check. I just like accurate dates for certain videos. It's a thing I have, and it's a little problem I have.
Behind this is unknown, but we assume Blade simply felt it was appropriate for the character.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? I mean, James Animo just has a nice ring to it, you know, kind of like Benjamin Kirby Tennyson, Gwendolyn Catherine Tennyson, or Kevin Ethan Levin. Kevin Ethan Levin, by mistake. I mean, they all have nice rings to it. I mean, granted, the Catherine thing was like 5 rail canon, but you get the idea.
Although it was never mentioned in the series, or on any official media.
Nor just, I don't know, having a middle name in general. Just saying. I mean, and
middle name in question was completely made up and never corrected for years. Eventually, by the 4th series, Omniverse, the name was officially mentioned in the Season 1 episode It Was Them by Rook Blanco.
Aloysius James Animo.
Yeah. Yeah, because he read on the files, like the scare's name. You know. Which was actually confirmed in pop-up trivia before eventually being revealed in Omniverse as well. And even acknowledged by the characters that this was not mentioned before. And Kuro's gonna get to the Ghost Freak thing.
Due to Ben 10's rotating door of writers, artists, and crew members, it's no surprise that the show itself was found relying on this fan wiki to catch themselves up to speed.
Or just anyone making a show or a game or, well, movie. Oh, wait, aren't the UAF writers and Omniverse writers the same? I mean, the art director was basically the pseudo ambassador of Omniverse during McDuffie's passing, but still.
When visiting Dr. Animo's incorrectly labeled page, believed Blade's personal edit was true, and wrote it into the show. Unfortunately,
again, being the fact that, well, his middle name was never confirmed, and Hill was them, so yeah.
Unfortunately, there are many cases over the years when it comes to Ben 10's relationship with its most prominent wiki and the fandom.
Yeah, like I discussed with this video.
Information, like Dr. Animo's middle name, also made its way into the show.
And as well as the misinformation you use for 5YL.
Other information, while not canonized in the show, is still widely believed by the majority of the community to this day.
Again, darn it, that timing would have been perfect. Just guess how. What I mentioned seconds ago. What I meant. And I gotta stop delaying my sentences.
Help emphasize the wiki's new standards for content hosted on the site, the team's extensive efforts to clean up the pages, correct information,
Hey, this is actually a nice visual.
and add accurate sources. I'd like to take the time to celebrate their 17th anniversary with this video highlighting all of their information changes.
Well, happy birthday, Ben 10 Wiki, by the way.
I've been working with the wiki the past few months putting this video together.
Good job on you, Kuro. Good job.
I would like to give a big shout out to them for their diligence in transforming the website from a sourceless free-for-all to something you can confidently use as a source of information on our favorite intergalactic shapeshifting hero.
So people like Rook can read them, you know?
Let's start with a pretty big one. The infamous Nalgene. This being was on screen for the tail end of a single episode, with no subsequent appearances or mentions ever since, yet made a strong impact on the fans for a multitude of reasons. For one, it gave the official statement that there were at least 26 significant spatial dimensions in Ben 10.
You only perceive 3 dimensions.
How many are there?
Only 26 that matter.
Secondly, when late showrunner
That matter.
Dwayne McDuffie stated that
Rest in peace.
there were more powerful beings in the Omnitrix other than Alien X,
Again, never proven in the show.
the Nalgene was widely assumed to be a potential candidate. Although, with the lack of
You can see that. I can see why.
information about this creature beyond her brief appearance, this assumption has no legitimacy. But the reason she's relevant
I
to
don't
this
know.
video is there's no evidence that she was
Sorry, just playing with something. My bad.
classified as a Nalgene to begin with. Their species was an assumption based on her device in the episode, the Nalgene.
They're pretty much fiery goops, so. Don't know why I'm saying this, just want to say that.
Destructor. But
And
she's
tell you what I thought.
never actually referred to as the title Nalgene. In the credits, Diane Michelle, her voice actor, is simply credited as Cosmic Mom. Now, one may argue that it should be obvious that the species name is Nalgene due to the aforementioned destructor, but when you think about
Yeah, like Chronosapien Time Bomb.
that argument does not hold much weight. For example, if an alien came across a glass cup from Earth, does this mean that they can assume that our species is called glass? Or in contrast, shouldn't we call it a human cup, as if we should name each object with our species name?
It's kind of redundant and ridiculous.
So, assuming that the Cosmic Mom species were called Nalgeans just because she owned a Nalgene destructor is a fallacy we all believed for years. Now,
You guys literally have a Nalgene transformation, and you officially have it be the species name for crying out loud. Just for the sake of, because you believe that, and, well, no, that's just it.
some crew members did go on to refer to the Cosmic Mom as a Nalgene for ease of conversation, but
Yeah. Ease of conversation. Darn it, I did it again.
unlike Dr. Anamo's middle name, the species name Nalgene was never officially canonized in the show, extended media, or merch, and thus is technically incorrect. The mysterious interdimensional being was only titled the Cosmic Mom in the credits, and there's nothing to support that their species are called Nalgeans because she possesses an object called a Nalgene Destructor. Similar to the Nalgeans, the term Forever Ninja is also incorrect. An anonymous user created his page on July 27th, 2008, calling him Forever Night Ninja. This name was later used to refer
That's a pretty much That's a handful, don't you think?
To an enemy NPC in the Ben 10 Alien Force video game, which was released on October 28, 2008. This was repeated with the release of Ben 10 Ultimate Alien Cosmic Destruction on October 5, 2010, which reused the Forever Knight enemy.
I mean, Ninja is just, that's just redundant.
Now shortened simply to Forever Ninja.
Thank God, much cleaner name.
Given the two share many similarities, it was reasonable to believe that the show's character proper was also called Forever Ninja.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
And as the character never speaks,
I mean, it could be just a mass-produced robot or something.
there were no voice acting credits to reference his true name, and both Tom Pugsley and Greg Klein, the writers of those episodes, have been difficult to get a hold of for questions. So, back in the Wild West days of the Ben 10 Wiki,
Yeah, I mean, as it stated, unreliable and basically questionable.
this was the term we stuck with. Years later, in the Omniverse episode An American Ben Wolf in London, his title was finally revealed as Red Knight.
The Red Knight and I will escort Mr. Tennyson and his girlfriend.
This may seem as though Chadwick may simply just be calling him a Red Knight as an offhanded term of acknowledgement, but
I mean, or the unlikely that he just doesn't know his true name Forever Ninja or something.
the story goes back further, all the way to May 15th, 2009.
You mean between 2008 and 2010?
Years before this episode aired, where a user named Paradox Fan had attempted to retitle the page to Red Knight, citing the pop-up trivia episodes as his source.
Again, this could be the case for Cooper Daniels. Why I say that weird? Or is it just Cooper? I don't know, this is just confusing. Anyways, Forever Ninja is like a way cooler name. I do actually really like Forever Ninja / Red Knight / whatever. I'm kind of glad he came back in Omniverse. Crow doesn't not like him, but hey, I do. He's just cool, badass, and a fucking ninja. He's a ninja robot. I mean, he doesn't need personality when you're that, and well, ninjas are meant to be silent.
Sadly, as with most Ben 10 pop-up trivia, this source was erased and Cartoon Network has yet to re-release these pop-up episodes.
Yeah, I think I have like the pop-up. I do have still have the pop-up trivia, yeah, version of Secret of the Omnitrix, the DVD, on the DVD. I mean,
So there was no evidence to prove this claim.
also nice editing.
There was also a trading card that labeled him as the Forever Ninja 2. Ben 10
Also stock photo from a stock image from the classic series.
merchandise has never been that reliable, but if the
Yeah, with whole like Cannonbolt and what the name of his species and home planet.
pop-up trivia was true, then the Red Knight was his correct name ever since he first appeared back in Classic. Though regardless, Omniverse gave us Red Knight.
I think they went the wiki on that one. Like with James.
As his correct label now, new or old. This next one came as a surprise to me.
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
In Ben 10 Alien Swarm, the Queen and her army were always believed to be called nanochips.
I mean, nanochips, nanomech. You'll see why.
But when the concept was reintroduced in the show, they were called microchips. I didn't understand why that inconsistency needed to be there.
Same.
Especially when nanomech clearly has the word nano and not micro in his name.
I mean, nanochips, nanomech. I mean, micromech doesn't have the same ring to it, you know?
Watching through Alien Swarm again, You may notice that the term nanochips was never used. In the film, these little diamond-shaped robot aliens are only referred
I mean, they're. I don't know about how they're diamond shaped. I mean, they're like. Have a little slot in the top of them, or bottom, or however you. Whatever.
to as drones, or simply chips. Using the repeated word chip and extrapolating the prefix nano from nano mech, a page was created on December 5th, 2009 for these nano chips, beginning this misinformation streak. And while the show does rename them to microchips or nanites, it would be wrong to correct the
Also, like, not confusing nanites from generics.
term as nanochip instead. The term nanochip
Even though nanochip is like more appropriate and just feels more right.
was used in the Ultimate Alien DVD, The Wild Truth.
I mean, you still call nanomech part nanochip, I think. Better check.
But with the unreliability and false information many items of merchandise have displayed previously, this cannot be taken as concrete evidence.
Unless you're, of course, making some your own Benton canon.
The wiki now considers microchips to be the definitive term, as that coincides with the show. But due to the multiple names it's been given over the years, I'd say it's still harmless to still label them as nanochips. Just don't
I mean, yeah. Because nanochips is just a really good name, you know?
expect to see that
And it feels original-ish.
on the wiki anymore. Part of Alien Force's legacy is the popular opinion that its third season fell very short,
Partially, at least.
with dramatic changes to the story, characters, and tone of the show.
I mean, in the third season.
Praising the first two seasons.
Or two.
A notable contributor
Well, some of the fans, at least.
to the success of the first two seasons is that it was originally written as one large 26-episode season. It was Cartoon Network that decided to split that season in half, using the 13th episode as a makeshift season finale. This
I mean, don't you hate that when that happens?
somewhat worked, as the episode in question was Alien X's debut, along with the incursions and the stakes raised to planetary destruction. But given that Alien Force was intended to have the hybrid arc as one season, and the
And I can see that. I'll see why the whole Agrigor arc is just one season.
rest of the episodes as another, the wiki has since restructured itself to acknowledge Alien Force having only 2 seasons. While the
Yeah, as it was intended to be.
wiki made this decision to maintain a strict, accurate portrayal about Ben 10 and its wide catalog of info, this change is one I feel like will be the trickiest to get used to.
At least for you.
Personally, I'm still going to refer to Alien Force as having 3 seasons. That is how I structured all of my Ben 10 breakdown videos, and it's too late to go back and change that. And even
Yeah. Too bad, Kuro. Too bad. And nothing can change that except time travel.
though it's technically incorrect, this is how the majority of the fandom perceives the show, and it would make things easier for conversation, though it still should be noted that Alien Force is technically only 2 seasons. Hey folks,
Yeah, like how I believed it. I'm just gonna skip this.
enjoying this video, please leave a like and help us feed the unyielding, relentless bloodlust known as the YouTube algorithm. Now, back to the video. So that about covers all of the major ones, but there's still quite a few worth mentioning.
Easier to brief this one.
Detrovites Technorg and Vulcanus come from an unknown homeworld, but for a time, their planet was believed to be called Vulcan.
Yeah, Star Trek and Greek god and... Yeah, just based off because, well, Vulcanus. I mean, why would Vulcanus share his name with planet? Doesn't make sense.
As it was added to their page on January 10th, 2010 by a user named D. Jetray. The name Vulcan
Yeah, D. Jet Ray, because D. Bradley Baker, who voices Jet Ray.
ended up on an Ultimate Alien DVD as consequence, further proving that you really can't trust these DVD special features. Home planets and alien species were a big
Again, really nice visual.
target for misinformation, including, but not limited to, Terraspin, Lodestar, Skurd, Armadillo, the Chorus Reptilian, and Siphon, all
Oh yeah, just ignore that sound. Okay, misspellings, misspelling, false name, false name, false name. I mean, sea bison sounds better than reptilian mountain. Pterodactyl just is easier to pronounce and just fits better with armadillo. And this was acknowledged by Cartoon Network, and these were acknowledged in merchandise. These were never acknowledged anywhere outside the wiki.
Falling victim to this, notably through misspellings or fake names. But with the new wiki overhaul, you can be rest assured that all species and home planets are now accurate, or at least do not fill in information that is currently unknown. The last name Daniels was added to Cooper's page and is following appearances by users Frimzilla32 and Fiskerton Phantom.
Yeah, Fiskerton Saturday and Danny Phantom. I see what they did there.
Name also without a source to
Also, cool image. Grimzilla 32. That's awesome too.
back this claim. A non-canon comic book incorporated the surname for an issue where Cooper appears in present-day Omniverse, which also never happens in the show.
Yeah, because the writer, they claimed it's not in canon for whatever reason, because the show didn't work on it for whatever reason. Also, it could be, as I said, it could be a pop-up trivia thing. And we doubt now if Cooper's Daniels was an official thing from Ben 10. And we just assume that it was misinformation from the wiki, like apoplexia.
This freak was stated to be weak to sunlight without his second skin.
Yeah. The thing especially me, a dedicated Ben 10 fan that could rival Kuro, believe this false misinformation. And from a video I've made about ectoneurites. I mean, this kind of makes sense since why? Because we never see Sascara's true form be immune to sunlight. Or, yeah, just let Carl explain further.
When it was actually the fact that Sascare was incomplete without Ben's Omnitrix that made him weak to sunlight. Although later episodes of the show does incorporate this weakness to sunlight as a concrete part of Sascare and ectoneurites, regardless of the Omnitrix, the idea of his second skin shielding him in the place was never brought up in the show.
Again, you guys decided to use it for 5YL and put it in one of your episodes of And Beyond, along with the whole Enter Vladis, which was fan-made from the wiki, and then Derek made background information from it. So yeah.
For our last section, I'd like to go over some of the conflicting beliefs between creators.
Yeah, conflicting between creators. I'm just gonna skip this one.
Belief that the universe being recreated in Season 1 of Omniverse has source for countless admirable contributions to the show.
Sorry about that.
So let's tackle his statements first.
Yeah, Derek DY is an opinionated super fan, basically. So yeah, just listen to this.
Let's start with a common belief that the universe being recreated in Season 1 of Omniverse had erased Primus from existence, as stated by Derek, who is not a fan of the concept of Primus.
Yeah, simply put, in Derek's words, it's the Omnitrix being the sole database of the universe is a cleaner concept.
But when this information was confronted by Matt Wayne, a writer for the show, he disagreed, and with no evidence from the show to back up Derek's claim, Primus is now reconsidered canon by the wiki. And
too bad for you guys who dislike Primus.
On that same topic, Derek himself had claimed that none of the changes in Omniverse were due to the universe recreation.
I mean, really, Derek? Why contradict yourself? I mean, one Prime is gone. That's why you said that.
even though that was his original explanation for retconning Primus in the first place. And, in a recent interview, episode director Dan Reba also claimed that many changes in Omniverse were in fact due to the universe reset. So,
I watched that video, so I should go check out the Watchtower Database YouTube channel, by the way.
It was like all of the stuff was like negating what was done before and restarting it. And we did justify it a little bit with Omniverse by having the universe be recreated.
Also, Dan Reba's name. Fun fact, Dan Reba got a Galvan name after him called Dreba.
Derek was also a huge advocate for not only claiming that both Ben 10,000s in Classic and Omniverse were the exact same person, but that he was definitively Ben's true future. But
in his eyes, it's just cleaner if Ben has just one true future. Okay?
once again, running this by Matt, along with statements taken from the show proper.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, yeah, they disagree.
Neither of these are considered to be true anymore, as all three of Ben's futures are separate, and none of them can be taken as the absolute path Ben will follow when he grows up.
I don't know, because it's fun to do.
This includes the fact that he is absolutely supposed to marry Kai, while
because it happened in the classic series because of pop-up trivia, I think, Kai being like Ken's mom was just there to explain his skin tone. She was literally the only option. I guess because it's pointless just to make a character just for pop-up trivia. That's just dumb. Regardless if you just like Kai or not. I do think Kai ending up with Ben kind of makes sense. Because, their grandfathers are pretty good friends and whatnot. They're both adventurous and they're kind of very busy with said duties, and so they probably wouldn't have time to hang out with each other, so yeah. Yes, much as I really like Esther, and we all support Julie, Kai makes sense ish. And okay, let's just continue.
Enter may be under the belief that this is true. To quote,
because he's just trying to protect his future. Also, I love this image.
Dwayne, just because a character believes it doesn't make it true.
Yeah, it's a really nice quote, especially for this type of video. And this video reacting to this video.
Derek had also once claimed that the incursion warrior shown in the flashback of the Ultimate Alien episode Solitary Alignment was not...
Go watch Kuro's breakdown of the episode, by the way. And you'll see how he feels about this.
An incursion. But this was corrected on the wiki as well. Aliens Echo Echo and Feedback were also believed to be living energies contained inside of special suits.
And also, Ultimate Echo Echo 2.
In Echo Echo's case, Derek stated he learned this concept from Dwayne McDuffie.
Dwayne and Derek do know each other, and I think before they worked on Ben 10, and the fact that, they do seem to agree on certain things, like the green eyes and badges, so Yeah.
and would use this to explain feedback situation. But with some digging, Dwayne was simply responding to a fan theory about energy
Sorry, guys,
contained inside of special suits.
sorry for
In
the
Echo
edit.
Echo's case, Derek stated he learned this concept from Dwayne McDuffie and would use this to explain feedback situation. But with some digging, Dwayne was simply responding to a fan theory about Echo Echo's design,
Yeah, sorry you had to see that again.
which Dwayne disagreed with, confirming Echo Echo was not living sound waves after all.
I mean, why would you do that? That kind of makes Echo Echo that kind of makes Echo Echo more interesting. Same thing with feedback. Oh yeah, and Ultimate Echo Echo.
Later on, Derek forgot about his statements about feedback and retracted the information.
Or maybe just change his mind or something.
A similar case happened with Alien X, and would also admit his disdain for Alien X and
Yeah, I just don't like Alien X being too overpowered.
parts of the show he didn't work on.
Sorry, I'm
feel
skipping this.
all of these alleged weaknesses for Alien X do not hold much weight on the wiki either.
I mean, the fact that Alien X could survive under Flatus if he tried, I mean, he probably could be immune to, say, Topek's scary face or whatever going on with Topek or Pixie Dust's Pixie Dust. Well, you could try to be immune to those.
As most of the more ridiculous ones come from Derek himself. But to close off the topic of Derek, let's once again tackle the tiresome tale of Kevin's backstory. I've previously released an extensive video. The more ridiculous ones come from Derek himself.
forgot this.
But to close off the topic of
Man, this shot looks cool as heck.
the topic of Derek, let's once again tackle
And the smoke effect looks really good too.
the tiresome
Oh yeah, now like being Kuro's breakdowns. And this lighting's pretty good. Ugh. Sorry. Just appreciating the classic series.
tale of Kevin.
And why would Ben, that face for Ben is appropriate, but Kevin is just, why would it make that? That's so meme-worthy.
Kevin's backstory.
Okay.
I've previously released an extensive video on the subject, so I'd like to direct
Yeah, I also made a video responding to this one. And also, another YouTuber by, sorry, I just, hold on, just, by the name of A-10 also made a video responding to this one. Go check out his YouTube channel, by the way.
your attention to that project if you'd like the full story. But to skim the bullet points, Derek
Yeah, skipping the bullet points, so you can watch the video on Kevin.
was the only one who believed that Kevin was definitively a mutant in Classic.
At least till he told everyone that Kevin was always meant to be a mutant, and everyone believed it to accept the Ruler's retcon.
No other crew members were able to corroborate this statement, with many who worked on both UAF and OV also being from the Classic era themselves. Duncan Rouleau, original co-creator of Ben 10
Yeah.
Classic,
He said it, like he knows full well who worked on the show. I mean, he announces in his who writes an episode and a breakdown. Come on.
also spoke against this idea. The sole source of defining Kevin as a mutant from Classic came from untrustworthy merchandise.
I mean, it's only meant to label as not known forms of mutation, so yeah.
As Derek was an avid toy collector, and previous examples in this video has shown that his recollection of Ben 10 lore was not always accurate.
So they don't freak out.
Just ignore that voice as me. Just ignore that. And just pay attention to my voice. And
It became clear that Derek falsely believed that Kevin was always intended to be a mutant, and that his alien heritage was the start of a long series of retcons.
Well, I don't think. Actually, I do think that the whole him supposed to have an Omnitrix thing was the start of constant changes to Kevin's character. So, yeah.
But let's direct our attention away from Derek. Many fans look towards Duncan Rouleau as the new unofficial face of the Ben 10 questionnaire.
I mean, after all, since, Dwayne and Derek, both D's, like Duncan, have passed, Duncan's not dead, don't worry.
Biggest discourse came shortly after the airing of the 2016 reboot series finale special, Alien Extinction.
Yeah, again, the reboot reused this scrapped idea of Kevin having Omnitrix.
Where 4 alternative Bens joined the fight against
And Gwen. Yeah, convince this Alien X over here just wanted to be defeated. This is like I said, the whole Alien X can make himself immune to a certain thing if he tried, or he's gonna make himself weak to a certain thing if he tried.
an evil celestial sapien. You can clearly see that these Bens are meant to represent each iteration of the show prior to the reboot, but
I only think the Omniverse one is actually Ben Prime. Just saying, just make things easier.
the special mentions multiple times that there is no time travel involved,
For simplicity. Yeah, I'm just gonna...
making it impossible for stated that all 4. There was also the interview he did for this very channel, where the topic of the rumored original test pilot was brought to his attention, claiming it was fake. Dave Johnson, classic series character designer, would disagree, stating the footage was indeed real, which was later
Yes, Dave Johnson, arguably the co-creator of the original Ben 10 series in the franchise.
confirmed by Nolan Obina once some of the footage was found online, which we also have a video on if you'd like more information on the elaborate search for said footage. Though to be fair,
I watched some of Ink Tank's videos, and I also watched some of these videos before, so, yeah. I am already aware of the speed of what's up.
Duncan did say that if the footage was real, he had no idea about it. So it was less him spreading misinformation and more of this footage just flying under his radar.
If I were to not to... Yeah, there are things that could fly over my radar, like, say, I don't know, like if I were producing something and I just didn't get a chance to see test footage because they said scrap it before I could see it. Or if I forget something I made a while ago. Yeah. So Duncan never meant to spread misinformation at all.
As is very common on a multifaceted production. On a smaller note, in a Q&A article published by Man of Action on various Ben 10 questions, they incorrectly labeled the Cosmic Mom's official species as Nalgian.
And then, as you said earlier, it's not incorrect. They just did it for confirmation,
But at the time, this was also an understandable mistake. This about finishes off the major highlights of the changes. But if you're interested in more information, you can check out the following pages on the Ben 10 wiki.
Yeah, I reviewed this page already, and again, check out the video. This one. Without shameless promoting.
Which I will link down below. I'd like to close off this video by highlighting a lot of the
could have done better with this,
Wiki's achievements in light of its anniversary. The Ben 10 Wiki can be perceived simply as a fan site, but it's easily distinguished as the most active and widely used fan site for Ben 10, with many of the show's cast and crew relying on it for information as well.
Yeah, because, had to be there, as you said, to catch up with the speed and refresh their memories on it.
The responsibility of this spotlight inspired them to make each page as accurate as possible, to give fans a place to learn more about the show without the fear of being misled.
Yeah, like in like we were previously, you know?
The site was originally run by a separate team than it currently has, and back then, their standards were not nearly as
footage.
high as what we have today. They've revamped their manual of style, along with countless pages on the characters, aliens, and episodes.
And of course, this features your favorite alien, Swampfire.
Each page is paired with a gallery of high-quality images of the relevant topic,
Again, showing your Swampfire love.
both with official art, screenshots, and merchandise, which I heavily rely on when editing my videos.
Especially with your boy, Swampfire.
You can often find transcripts of the episodes too, but at the time of this video's release, they are still being completed. But
And hope they are.
these transcripts are the most accurate documentation of the series' dialogue, even more accurate than the official subtitles on the DVDs,
Yeah. Like that.
if you can believe it. I've also been
I mean, I can't believe it.
fortunate to make a handful of contributions to the wiki too, with my various escapades through analyzing the show and conversations with the cast and crew, now acting
Man, you did your research. Research.
as valid sources of their information. I was also the one who cut out the image of the synthroid for his page, so that's something. And
Good for you, Kuro. You can't see my thumbs up, but good for you.
I'd also like to shout out contributing members of the wiki, old and new, who were able to help make this website possible.
Just go watch the rest of the video to see the people see these list of people, because this video has gone way too long and I did not plan this, and I don't want to make this any longer anymore, waste time, except I'm wasting time by explaining all this. I gotta stop talking.
Wiki continues their journey to create the most accurate catalog of Ben 10 information. We can at least put to rest some of the debates mentioned in this video. And until next time, keep it fizzy.
I will keep it fizzy, Kuro. I will keep it fizzy. And dancing cannonballs. So anyway, this is a really good video. I mean, Kuro does a really good job exploring the fake facts about Ben 10 and, well, the misinformation and whatnot. And, well, he did a good job. This video's gone long enough, as I said earlier. Again, be sure to hit that Kuga thumbs up button. Hit that Kuga thumbs up button. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I am Tyler's Awesome 2. And peace. And happy birthday, Ben 10 Wiki.